It was delicious, and they even brought some back. But as they were talking about what God was about to do, here comes the other folks to talk about what can't happen. I want you to know that Tidwell, that God is about to do something powerful in your life. Now, this particular story, I'm not going to try to preach and all of that, but this particular story, it took place, it really unfolds in the day of Abraham, when Abraham was told, get up out of your father's country, go to the land where I'm going to show you. And then when he got up, he left out, and God says, listen, I'm going to talk to you by night, Abraham. Listen, you're going to be the father of many nations. You're going to be so blessed, and your people are going to go into bondage under people they don't know. And after 400 years, I'm going to bring them out. And when I bring them out, I'm not bringing them out empty-handed. I'm bringing them out with great substance. I'm not going to bring them out broke down, messed up, backwards. But when they come out, they're coming out so blessed they can't hardly handle it. I wish I had about 10 folks in here. I don't need that many. Just about 10 folks that understand that you're so blessed, that the blessing of the Lord is so great. The truth is, you can't hardly handle it. If I had 10 folks, and you just look down the road and say, he's talking about me. Well, here it is. Talking about me. God raises up Moses, brings him up. He brings him up, raises him up. He comes into the land of Egypt, and there he flees out of the land of Egypt. He stays out in the desert for 40 years. After 40 years, on the backside of the wilderness, he rolls up on a bush that won't go out. God speaks to him, take your shoes off, man. I got something to tell you. He takes his shoes off, and then he says, listen, go into Egypt and tell Pharaoh, I said, let my people go. He goes in. I'm cutting a long story short. Goes in. Some of y'all know the story. Some of y'all went to Sunday school. Listen, he goes in, and when he went in, and plagues and everything happened on that last day. That last day, before he let him go, he says, this is what you do, Moses. Take the blood of the lamb, put it on the door of the post. And I'm coming through here on the night, and I'm going to kill the firstborn in every family. The only way you're going to survive is when I see the blood. Some of you survivors here tonight need to understand that it was not because you were so pre-educated, had so much money. Your mama, your dad, your granddaddy were praying for you, and they said, Lord, cover them in the blood. My God, somebody in here ought to just high five somebody and say, I'm going to cover them in the blood. And so it was that that night they came out of the army chasing, they went to the Red Sea, and you all heard the song said that they got to the Red Sea, they couldn't get across. It was at that time that God says, I see you, don't worry about a thing. He beckons to the angel, says, bring me my cloud, steps out on the wings of the wind, and comes down and sets foot on the land, and breathes out of his nostrils, and the water goes up on both sides. They go across, get on the other side, and God says, I hear you saying that you're hungry. He says, all right, come here, Gabriel and Michael, turn your plate over and give them food from heaven. And then he says, you're thirsty, hey, rock, give them water. And so it is that they had bread from heaven and water from the rock. So much quail they didn't know what to do with it. And finally God brings them right to the place of promise. Right to the place of promise. And said, go and look around. Look at what I'm getting ready to do for you. Look and see the blessing that I'm getting ready to bring you into. You've been in bondage, but you're getting ready to go into your blessing. You've been in your struggle, but you're going into the miracle that I ordained for your life. It was at that point that 10 of the fellas popped up and said, we have a negative weather report. Elder Tidwell, in this season, you're going to have to be careful about the people you allow to prognosticate your future. They're not saying what God is saying. You got to cut them off. Some of you will be further along if you had cut off some folk that was talking in your ear. They got a report from heaven and spoke actions in your spirit. And they were causing you to come into a place of defeat. But I want you to look to your left and look to your right and tell your neighbor, say, you ain't going to talk what God said. Come on, tell me, I got to let you out. I got to put your head wonder, is that God